What if I told you that one of the best financial decisions that you can make this year has nothing to do with stocks, has nothing to do with crypto, heck, it's got nothing to even do with AI, even though that's the big thing right now. No. What I'm talking about is buying an old, cheap, reliable car that just works. Today, I'm going to break down cars like the Toyota Camry, the Toyota Corolla, the Honda Accord, and the Honda Civic. Vehicles like this that could literally save you thousands of dollars and teach you some serious life skills in the process. Look, we've all seen the ads, okay? $0 down, 3.99% interest on a vehicle that's anywhere between $50,000 and $80,000 to buy out the door. Whether it's a $60 month loan, 84, 72, whatever it is. Pick your poison. The average car payment in the United States today is $700. That's not even factoring insurance. That's not even factoring in gas, not to mention maintenance. All of this equates to paying over $10,000 a year for a vehicle. Now let's flip the script here, okay? Let's say you bought a 2005 Toyota Camry for $4,000 that runs like a clock. You can probably guess you've got quite a bit of money left over at the end of the month to throw at savings or other important assets. So let's say you pay cash, so boom, you've got no car payments. Insurance is going to be much cheaper because you don't need full coverage on an older vehicle. And if you're lucky that you don't live in a state with emissions laws, that's even better because a lot of the times the catalytic converters on these things, well, they do kind of go bad. But that car, if bought today in 2025, could still last you at least 5 years. Probably more, to be honest with you. Now listen. These cars are boring. They're not race cars. They're not uber fast, okay? They're boring, everyday cars that blend into traffic. And of course, you can do some things yourself to make it aesthetically more pleasing. But these cars are slow and boring, but they're built like tanks, okay? They just need oil changes and they just go. That's the good thing. And most importantly, there's no turbocharged nonsense. There's no crap load of technology. So it's gonna teach you to be a good driver without all the assistance from parking sensors, backup cameras. You just use your mirrors and your head. For God's sake, turn your head when you do a lane change, people. There's no light on this mirror to tell you not to change lanes. And sure, you've got no heated seats, but you can always buy one with a 12-volt plug-in adapter. I had one in my 2001 Toyota Camry when I was 17 years old. It was like my own built-in aftermarket seat warmer. It was great. Steering wheels even come with the same thing now. It's crazy. Actually, I don't know if they have an aftermarket for that, but you can probably have one installed for much cheaper. But here's the best part, okay? Owning a car like that, when something goes wrong, these cars are easy to fix, okay? Parts are cheap and readily available everywhere. From parts stores, junkyards if you want to go a little bit cheaper and something that's on a vehicle already. And then these cars are so easy to work on that you can fix it yourself. My 2001 Camry, all I did was change the oil, change the brakes, and it was super simple and easy. I just did a valve cover gasket on my 2006 Matrix. It's super simple. Spark plugs sit right on top of the engine block because they're usually inline fours or a V6 that's still easily accessible. But Kyle, what cars should I look for? Well, let me tell you. Toyota Corolla, between the years of 2006 and 2013, okay? Mine's a 2006 Toyota Corolla Matrix, okay? It's the hatchback version, but it's the same car. You get a 1.8 liter inline four naturally aspirated engine that is literally bulletproof. The one thing I will note to be careful on is that the earlier models, so between 2003 and 2005, have a tendency to burn oil. Just watch out for that. Although oil is cheaper than buying a brand new car, and it is still much cheaper than replacing the engine in your car, just be aware of that. Keep a jug or two in your car if that is a concern of yours, and it is happening if you do buy a vehicle between the years 2003 and 2005. Other than that, these things are bulletproof. Automatic transmission, manual transmission, it doesn't matter. This thing will run forever. Any Honda Civic between the years of 2001 and 2011, again, a bulletproof engine. These things have bulletproof just everything, okay? Everything. Toyota Camry between the years of 1999 and 2013. Seriously. The Toyota Camry that I had, just for reference, I bought the vehicle when it had about 333,000 kilometers. I drove it till it had about 450,000. I then let it sit for 2 months, sold it to my uncle, and he drove it until it hit about 600,000 kilometers. And then the transmission finally went in it because it was an automatic, wasn't maintained properly, but I didn't feel I needed to change the fluid. So that went, we scrapped the car, even though we could have easily got another transmission for it and threw it in there. But again, a comfortable car that drives like a boat that just runs forever. Doesn't matter if you buy the inline 4 or the V6. Both are strong and last a long time. The only real difference you're going to get is that the V6 is a little bit more powerful. The Honda Accord, specifically between the years of 2002 and 2012. Another strong, reliable car, very similar to the Civic. That is one I also recommend. And lastly, we're going to change it up a little bit. Mazda 3. Yeah, we're going to change it up from Toyota and Honda. A Mazda 3. And I don't care what year you buy a Mazda 3. They're all fantastic. They have been for years since they were released. My best recommendation, though, is if you can find one with a manual transmission, you're better off to go with that one. The automatics are a bit iffy, to say the least. So that does it for the list. Look for those cars. They're fantastic. And the main thing I want to point out here is that when manufacturers made these cars, they knew that the owners weren't going to take care of them. So the engines are designed to be ran past oil change intervals, past transmission oil change intervals, and they just run. So if you buy one, you want to be like me and change your oil every 5,000 miles, you absolutely can. But if you want to go a little bit longer, it's not going to kill the thing. They're bulletproof. And of course, look for things like just make sure it's a low owner count, make sure it's not going to break and fall apart when you drive away, but those are all things you can kind of tell by either just looking at it, scanning codes, getting underneath the car, checking the bodywork of the car, or if you want to pay to have a mechanic come out and look at it, that's always a great idea too, and they'll give you a good rundown of what the car might need, what it might not need, and things to watch out for. Anything under 200,000 miles, though, is definitely a steal if you can find one that's for sale. That thing will run a long time, even though the much, much higher Toyotas and Hondas will run basically forever. And listen, I'm not saying you should drive a beater for your entire life. I'm just saying if you're in your 20s, if you're in your early 30s, and you're looking to have some investments, you're looking to have some cash aside, this is a great thing to do, especially if you don't care about how other people view you, because honestly, at the end of the day, and I go to plenty of car meets, a lot of the times people are not really too concerned with what you drive. And there's people that spend a lot of money on vehicles. Sure, it's cool for a Friday night. Come Sunday morning, you're not even really thinking about it until you see them again next Friday. If this video helped you rethink your car financial decision, go ahead and drop a like, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell, and let me know in the comments, what do you drive? Why do you drive it? What makes you happy to drive it? And if you have any car buying tips, go ahead and leave them in the comments as well, because knowledge is power. And until next time, I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next one.